What's up, everybody? Tread West Podcast back with another video. Quick little one here, just because, I've noticed it for a while, but it's becoming more and more glaring. And maybe they're just they realize Trump can't run again, so they're just trying to really hammer it home. But the left wing media and all these leftist Democrat YouTubers, they're going to be out of business as soon as Trump's no longer in the limelight and in the news. This is all they talk about. Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. Even when Biden was president, all the mainstream media was constantly Trump, 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 because they had all these fake court cases against him. You know, felon, even though these were misdemeanors that were past the statute of limitations, yet they for somehow charged them up to be felonies. But hey, normies and Democrats don't like to admit that one. But let me show you just a couple of the prominent Democrats, leftists on YouTube. And obviously, we all know the mainstream media, all they talk about is Trump. Like, for a while, I didn't understand it, how some people can have the views that they have. But then some people I know who vote Democrat all the time, they had MSNBC on, and it was during the Russia. And like my head was about to explode listening to this. But then I also like took a step back and was like, okay, I at least understand why these people have this worldview now. Because they're being fed this pure propaganda, constant 24/7 Trump hate on bogus BS stuff. But this is what they watch. And that generation, they're older people, that generation was raised to trust the mainstream media. They don't question anything. They don't go on YouTube and find alternate sources. They watch MSNBC, CNN, and then on the right, they watch Fox, which again, also propaganda, but for the opposite side. But Fox at least tends to have people from the left and Democrats on a lot of their panel shows as well. These other ones are always all out, pure anti Trump. So let's take a look here. So, David Pakman, he's like a pretty popular one. He's got over 3 million subscribers on YouTube. Let's look at these headlines here. Trump deported multiple citizens, kids with cancer. Texas shock. He's leading a revolt against Trump. Oh no, Trump supporter David Portnow turns on Trump. They're telling us recessions are good now. TDS podcast. Trump. Trust Trump like he's God. Desperate Trump. Fox versus MAGA. Okay, it doesn't mention Trump, but it says MAGA. Trump. Psychotic break. Trump. Even the one he's got with Stephen A. Smith. The title says Trump. Trump press secretary. Trump flees. LOL Trump brags. Okay, finally one that doesn't mention Trump or have him on the thumbnail. Trump. This is all these people have. Negative Trump. Orange man bad. TDS suffers. So let's go over to Luke Beasley. He's a relatively newer one, but he's got over 1 million subscribers as well. Almost all of the thumbnails have a picture of Trump. Watch Trump. Watch reporter destroy Trump. Psychologist explains why Trump is fucked in the head. Watch Trump's face when his own fans lose it at him. Oh shit, Trump cries at someone, finally does it to his face. Watch Trump suffer panic spiral as reporters confront him. MAGA host laughed. Okay, that doesn't actually say Trump. Breaking, Trump rally, utter catastrophe. Shit hits the fan. Trump. A couple that aren't, but almost all Trump. And maybe they're just, I don't know. They found what works on the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube's pretty fucking not based, anti-free speech, shadow bans anything conservative and leaning right. So you have to like really be popular in the right wing media for your stuff to be propped up. And people like this, they're just all thumbnails with pictures of Trump or Trump's name is mentioned in the title, and it's always negative. It's always negative. And these people, I'll say at least I've seen Luke Beasley go on a more right leaning or middle centrist leaning podcast. But he had no argument other than Trump bad, Trump insurrection, January 6th. That's all he had. He had no substantive argument because these people don't they aren't they're used to living in their echo chamber. They're not used to conflicting ideas. They're not used to having their worldview challenged. They just post clickbait titles with pictures of Trump, Trump bad, people will click. And it shows you the views they're getting. Like a lot of his videos, they're all in the hundreds of thousands worth of views. And he's got 1.3 million subscribers. So this is all same with the left-wing media. I mean, they're dying as it is. CNN, MSNBC, their numbers are terrible. But all they talk about is Trump. Trump bad. So, like I said in one of my previous videos, they better hope Trump's not just trolling and he's actually going to try to change the laws to run for a third term. Because if he just rides off into the sunset after this term is up, what are they going to talk about? They still going to go after him? They'll probably still try to like go after him unless he like blanket pardons himself, which I'm usually not a fan of, but Biden just gave blanket pardons to his family and fucking Fauci, so why not? And they play dirty, but one can only hope. The Democrats, they don't have a clear, way forward. So Republicans might take control for quite a while, but people got short memories in this country. They vote based on their current emotions, and they got a short memory. So the election cycles, we'll see how midterms go. If Trump can get some of these tax breaks he's talked about under control, we'll see how it works out. But right now, it's not looking that great for midterms since people have a short-term memory. That's part of, the good and bad of this country. President only has 4 years, and then, he doesn't have just crazy power. He has to get stuff passed through Congress. So when you don't have the majorities, you just kind of be a lame duck. So I'm not condoning like an authoritarian long-term rule forever, but in some situations that would be better because it wouldn't matter if we weren't so partisan. Like Democrats and Republicans didn't have such disdain for each other, and people would go across the aisle and work together. They don't do that anymore. It's all a charade. It's blue no matter who, and then Republicans actually have people that lean more libertarian. So there are a couple Republicans, Rand Paul, Thomas Massie. I like them both, but they're not afraid to actually not join the Republicans in votes, and the Democrats are almost all in lockstep. So that's what hurts. That's what hurts it. But again, that's why this country's great. That's why we have checks and balances. But it just, we stalemate and can't get stuff done because it's Democrats just pick their side, Republicans them, and you can't get people to just vote across the board in all the states to get like all Democrats in and all Republicans in to have a majority. When you have a majority, it's only by a couple seats usually. So we'll end it there. What are you going to do, left wing media, once Trump's gone? That little teaser with the Trump 2028 just to troll you guys, or one of his sons will run. But for their sake and their ratings, they better hope because at least like a lot of the people on the right wing podcast, YouTube, they have other ventures of income that they also do. Almost all the left wing stuff, all they have is their streaming or their YouTube income. I'm sure they're getting money from the Democratic Party to post the stuff that they do, but they have no other form of income. So if all of a sudden people stop watching their stuff, they'll have nothing. But we'll end her there. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe at Trad West Podcast on all platforms. Till next time, Trad West Podcast.